What's up, dudes? I'm Ashley.
And I'm Randa, and welcome to The Closed Cinema.
Hello. If you've made it this far, or you're just finding us, hello and welcome. Try to preface, I guess, every episode or every other episode or so, if I could talk today, that we're not critics. This isn't our job. We're just two friends talking about movies, and maybe you guys agree with us on some or not. That's cool. But today we are talking about Twilight.
Yes. I've never seen a Twilight movie until this week because Ashley said we're going to do a podcast on it. So here I am with my Twilight knowledge of 1 week.
So history on Twilight for me then, to just get into it. So when the books came out, I was probably one of the first people in our school that had read them. And it was like up to the third one, I think, when the movie came out, and I was very excited for Robert Pattinson being cast. A lot of people were like against it, but because I was also a Harry Potter nerd, they just thought it didn't like suit the role because all he had really was like Cedric, and then a couple other things that I had seen him in. But people were against it, and I was like all for it because I was a Harry Potter nerd. And then the movie came out, and then I stopped. I didn't like the movie that much. And then when the fourth book came out, I read like a few chapters, and then I stopped and hid it from the world.
Breaking Dawn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had only seen the movies whenever I house sit for you when you were house sitting that one time was when I watched all of the movies. So these only like a couple years ago that I actually watched all of them. I'd only seen the first one and some of the second one because it played in one of our like high school classes when we had like sort of a free period. There was nothing really going on, and they put on New Moon.
I think it was a creative writing class.
Yeah. Is a cluster
even though we did
or whatever.
Nothing.
Yeah. So we had sort of seen parts of that, but I had never actually watched all of these movies until recently as well. We're trying to come up with ideas for podcasts, and this was one of them.
My sister was a big Twilight fan.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew things about it. Like, I know they sparkle in the sun or stupid, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I did read the first chapter of the first book when we were driving to Texas. And it's like 14 hours or 10 to 14 hours, depending on, who has to poop. But so we were driving, and my sister was reading it. And so she made me read one chapter. So I read it out loud because my dad and I were in the front seat. And I was reading it, and we were just laughing at it the whole time. And just... yeah. And I stopped after the first chapter because it was too much for me. And my sister was, of course, defending everything. Like, oh, no, they sparkle because... But, yeah. And, yeah, we did... I remember them playing it in that class, but I don't remember anything from it. I know the cast. That's all I know, I think.
Okay.
And, like, the obvious... during that time... Ryan Higa was making like parodies of it. A lot of people were making parodies of Twilight, so I just know it from that. So I know the most, like, maybe the weirdest part of the plot or the most prevalent part of the plots. But yeah, that was my history on it. What?
Most made fun of parts.
Just like the whole movie. But yeah.
I don't know. I think like watching them over, because I think I probably watched all of the movies maybe like 6 times, not a lot still, but I think watching them now, I don't think they're as bad as it was made out to be. I think people, like, there are cringy parts, don't get me wrong, there's cringy and like bad parts of it, but I don't think it's as bad as people made out to be. I think everyone just kind of jumped on like the bandwagon of making fun of it. Yeah. But I don't think it was that bad at all. So it's not a perfect movie at all. There are bad parts, but I still think they're like pretty fun to actually like watch. It could be a lot worse.
That's true.
What did you, because this was your first time actually watching them, so what did you think?
So I want to preface this with saying I don't like vampire and werewolf movies, so this is like the worst thing in the world. But I think if I watched this in middle school, I might have liked it more. It's a very cringy fanfic is how I see the whole thing, at least the movies. I don't know about the books, but at this age, which is like 20 and 25, whatever, first of all, like, they're so obsessed with Bella, and I just can't get over that part. It's very I feel like they're all toxic in a toxic relationship, and it was very cringy for me, especially I like the first movie the most because I don't think they were dating yet, because they started dating the second one. I guess
they started dating in the first one.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad because they didn't know each other that much yet.
That was my problem with it. They were in love instantly. And I was
Immediately.
like, do you guys have anything in common? Because it was basically just her kind of annoying him after like the whole van incident, and
Yeah.
him being all like grumpy boots about it and saying to like drop it and no one's gonna believe you. And then when she finds out he's a vampire, she's oh, it's the whole like lion fell in love with the lamb. I'm like, love? And then when she goes to school or whatever the next day, she's all, 3 things are true, and one of us like, I'm unconditionally and irrevocably like in love with Edward. And I was like, already?
Oh, they're in high
love?
school. Yeah, that's
But
why
still.
it was very fanfic to me, because you know, in fanfics you like stare at each other across the grocery store and you're like in love in the instant. Yeah, I think I liked it up to that point where they started dating. I think like fanfic world, you're dating the cool mystery guy, so it's cool or whatever. And I'm like, I can get why younger fans would like totally be all over that,
I guess so, yeah.
because that's how most fanfics are. We're big fanfic readers, by the way. Sorry. We're those people.
That's part of the reason why, though, I started watching the movies again, because for some reason I found like a Jasper fanfic and I was like, this is great.
Yeah, I like fanfics and it's better than the movies.
So I was like, let's watch the movies. I was like, fanfic's still really good. But like, again, like, I don't think the movies are that horrible. I think the first one is probably one of the most cringy ones, just because there's
Yeah, definitely.
a lot of like uncomfortable staring.
Yeah, the
And-
smelling scene. Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah, like it's just sort of awkward. Like, I feel a lot of secondhand like embarrassment, because
Yeah,
the way
definitely.
she'll act sometimes, like, and that's the thing that you see online that people make fun of a lot, like the stutters, or how like she blinks a bunch.
I don't think I've ever seen
There's-
those.
Yeah, and so I don't think I would have noticed it unless people had
I
made
just
fun
thought
of
it's
it.
'cause she's awkward herself. Like both her and Robert Pattinson are kind of like awkward people, I feel like, in real life. So I just kind of fits well into their character because they're awkward
I
too.
guess so. But that was just, they're so kind of uncomfortable for like the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
And even at the second part, she's still
Is
embarrassing.
that the one when he goes away?
That's the second movie.
Okay.
I meant like the second half of the first movie. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
The first movie for Twilight. Sorry, I'm losing the train of thought. The baseball scene, I really like.
That's so
though.
random.
I really like it though, just because like
What?
it's so. I think the Jasper when he flips the baseball bat, I'm like, yes, do it again.
I was like, this is the worst.
It's like
I hate
iconic.
this. They don't even have the butts to play.
I just think it's fun to watch, and I'm trying to think of like
Yeah,
everything else, because like I have notes, but everything kind of jumps around.
I also didn't like her group of friends at the school.
Oh, they're so annoying.
They're annoying and they're not really friends, especially the Anna Kendrick character.
Yeah.
I hate that one. The guys are trying to hit on her the whole time.
Yeah, like it is annoying because like every guy's in love with her.
I mean, it is a small town though, because they said it was 3,000 people.
Yeah.
I was surprised how many students were there, because my dad's town is a little bit less than 3,000 people, and there was only like 15 people in his class. So there's a lot of people there. Like the school, I guess there were more rich town. Well, not really though, right? Cause
No, I think just the Cullens kind of were.
but then the
rich.
school was nice, because if that town
true.
is that small, that school is
That
not
school,
gonna be
yeah, that
nice.
school is really nice for a small town.
Yeah,
That is true. I never thought about that.
that's the only. But then I was like, oh, maybe they're all rich. Cause
Yeah, no, I don't think that. I think mainly the Cullens. I think everybody else is the small
Okay.
town kind of person. So it's going back to like when they're kind of fighting about her not having anything to do with him, and like leaving him alone.
is this the second movie?
No, the first movie. So I'm talking like before she kind of finds out what he is or whatever, and he's trying to be like, oh, you don't know who I am, and
Oh,
what if I'm like the bad
got
guy,
it.
not
Like,
the hero? And I
I
was
don't
like,
want to talk to you, but I'm gonna talk to you.
yeah, he's all, what if I'm not the hero and like I'm the bad guy? And I'm like, that's every like man that I like. The toxic men. But
yeah, I don't like the toxic. Yeah, it was very. He's just too obsessed with her. I didn't like that, because like looking at it now, I'm like, if someone was that obsessed, I'll run away. I'll go the other way. If
Yeah.
someone, I woke up and they're in my room staring at me like,
right, that part always freaked me out. She's like having the nightmare, and then he's just there. I'm like, dude, come on, you
Yeah.
know that's wrong.
you live for like hundreds and hundreds of years. This is wrong. You know that.
Yeah, I got annoyed like at some parts though where it was like the logistics of it, where like the van, he stops the van and there's the whole dent in the side. He's all, no one's gonna know, and I'm like, I'm an insurance adjuster, so I'm just looking at that dent and I'm like, well, something got hit, obviously. Like, it's not just gonna appear, dude. And then when she wakes up in the hospital and they're like, oh, you fell down like stairs and out a window, but wouldn't it like show like how her leg was broken, like it's broken like downwards and stuff? I just feel like you can't do that falling out of a window even. I don't know. So some of it I'm like, it's CPS cops. Somebody should be called, right?
I think so.
I
And then the next movie, I hate the love triangle. Is Jake supposed to be 15?
He's younger than her, but I don't remember how much. It's 1 to 2 years younger.
Okay. I hate love triangles the most. And this is like the worst love triangle like the most intense love triangle to exist on the planet Earth.
Yeah, I don't like the love triangle, but the only thing with the second one, because I'm not like Team Jacob, I guess, but at least they have kind of things in common and they were doing stuff together. And I feel like in the first movie, we didn't really see that with Edward and Bella. You just see them not fighting each other, but like, you can't be with me, that whole thing still. And in this one, they're like working together on the bikes and actually doing stuff together. So I'm like, oh, this is actually...
But hana yori dango.
Oh, no.
So
hold on.
There's a Japanese show that has similar characters, and I'm making her.
Hold on.
She's panicking.
But like, Tomioji and Makino are so good together.
Exactly.
But I do love Rui though. Like,
yeah. So is Team Jacob, Team Edward for Bella, or is it just whoever you like?
No, it's for them. But I mean, I still say like, I'll say Team Jasper because I like Jasper. So people can kind of do it for like their favorite character, because people even say like Team Bella or just Team Rosalie, because they both have really toxic traits about them. I would prefer her with Edward after like all of the movies, just because Jacob does kind of like, he seems sometimes a little bit more toxic.
Yeah.
The way he acts towards Bella and like the possessiveness and stuff. I just appreciate that they had more in common.
Yeah.
That was shown. I feel like,
well, maybe that's what makes them more friend-like.
Maybe. I just wish they kind of shown more for Edward and Bella like in the first movie, because all of a sudden they were just in love.
And then you have to also take into account they probably spent more time in school too.
I guess so.
Right? In classes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's not a lot of classes where they're not together. It's a small... Again, it's supposed to be a small school, so I imagine they all had the same class, even though they didn't say they had the same class, even though he tried to switch out of it or whatever.
Yeah, but I think when he came back to school, like, how he was kind of asking her about herself because he can't read her mind. They should have done maybe a little bit more of that, but I get that you have to make a whole movie. But that way you can get more of a, like, connection between them for the first movie and understand why they're together.
Did they have more connection in the book? Or not really?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I read it like over 10 years ago.
Yeah. I probably thought it was the best thing to have ever been written.
I really liked it. No. Harry Potter was still best. But I did really like it, and I read them like a few times each for, well, the first 3 books. So I gave up with the 4th one. But I don't really remember too much about it.
But it was like, better than the movies.
Maybe. I'll have to I'll have to reread them. But the second movie though is probably one of my least favorites.
Yeah, I didn't like the second movie at all. It was just too much. Bella was too much. She was, I felt like her dad. I'm like, you're going crazy. I'm gonna send you back to.
I feel so bad for her dad.
Yeah.
She has a dad that loves her, and then she just keeps like breaking his heart. I'm like,
for this boy,
just leave Charlie alone. Also, Jasper's hair was like the worst part of this movie. The second movie, it was too like,
he had the same hair
curly. No, it was too much.
I like Jacob. I've been a Jacob fan, not Jacob, Taylor Lautner fan since Shark Boy. Mm-hmm.
I know.
I was like, oh, that's my man.
I know. You had a crush on him.
He had abs back then too, didn't he?
Don't know. He's a child.
No, when I was a child, he was a child.
I didn't like that movie though. You were the one watching that movie.
I didn't like that movie. I just watched it for him.
Oh, okay. I did not.
He was shirtless the entire movie, so that was nice.
My mom's like, does he have to really keep doing that?
I mean, I wouldn't want a ripped shirt either, I guess, right?
I guess so.
Is that why? All right, let's move to the next movie. That movie was too much. Breaking Dawn. I just kind of included.
Eclipse.
Oh man, I don't even have notes for Eclipse.
Eclipse is like.
Is that the one where they go to the
Probably the better one.
What is it?
No, the second one, they go to the Volturi at the end. That's when he's trying to kill himself.
Oh yeah. What was the third one?
The third one's Eclipse, where Victoria's making the army of the newborns.
Oh yeah.
I was like, did you watch
that
it?
Happened. I did watch it. Wait, is that What happened before that?
What do you
What
mean?
were they doing? Like, what was Bella and I was like Cedric? No, what's his name? Edward's status.
Well, they were back together, and it was Dad kind of had like wouldn't let her go out too much. She had been like grounded, but then she had a curfew, and he was saying like she has to spend more time with like Jacob again.
Oh, I thought that was the second.
No, but it's just I'm trying to think of everything because it's and for some reason I can't even think of like the first half of this movie too much.
Yeah,
I think of like the part where they start training and everything.
They start training.
Yeah, Jasper starts like training them.
Oh, and the wolves are with them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like so they were hunting them at the beginning, and Bella and Edward went to Florida because they were hunting, and then Jake told her what happened, why she left town was so that they could try to go after Victoria.
That was when they were trying to run away from her, like the scent and stuff. Or was that the second movie? No, that was the third movie, right? They're trying to.
Well, they took her up to the mountain.
In the ballet class.
That's the first movie, when she's running away from James.
Oh man, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't remember anything. That was Jane. Oh yeah, because that's why she's hunting him. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
but like clips like it tells about like how like what happened to Rosalie, how she died with like the guy she liked.
Yeah, I remember all their stories.
Okay, but yeah, that'll happen. But this one, I just don't like the kind of when they're at the mountain and Jake hears them say like she's gonna get married, and he gets all mad, but she goes and kisses him. Yeah. And it was that like the meme or TikTok or whatever that I am very uncomfortable with the energy that we've created in the studio right now. I was like, that's me. I get awkward during that part because I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I get it's like to kind of calm him down and everything, but I'm like, but she also says like, oh, I love him, but I love you more kind of thing. I'm like, this is awkward.
Yeah, she needs to be more clear.
Yeah.
And I also don't like that he was just sleeping shirtless next. Like, okay.
I feel like Edward's trying to be more nice to him sometimes, but then Jacob always just wants to be like a jerk.
He's a 15-year-old,
True.
a horny 15-year-old.
True.
Who thinks he's in love, okay? And his love rival is like right there. So he wants to fight. And he's a werewolf. He just wants to fight.
I know. Like. It just gets annoying because like back off. Just back off.
He just needs to grow up a bit.
Yeah.
But then he'll date their daughters. I don't know.
Oh, I hate that. That's one of the things I hate the most.
Yeah. That was...
Okay, so we can move to Breaking Dawn. So honestly, I didn't rewatch the first part this week because I had watched it not that long ago, and it just makes me uncomfortable. I hate that one where she's like, I don't like pregnancy that much. Like, I don't like when it happens in like fanfics and stuff.
Yeah.
I stop reading. But it's just she gets all skinny and frail and breaks her back basically. I hate it.
Yeah.
It makes me so uncomfortable to watch. So I didn't rewatch this one, but I know what happens in it.
Like, I know because I avoided it.
Yeah, this is the book that I stopped reading at, and I think it was before she even got pregnant. I was like, nope.
Yeah, and usually I don't mind. Like, I don't care if people get pregnant in movies, but this one I was like, oh, just kill both.
Yeah, it's
like,
so uncomfortable. I'm like, how does all this work? And then I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I like so many weird Google histories. Just like, how does this? What? And then I was like, how did she get pregnant? I'm like, no, I don't need the I don't need a lesson about the birds and the I'm like, no, how did I'm like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's so
let it go. And like, yeah, I hate that she's like so special. You know what I mean? I guess that's what makes it a fanfic, because in fanfics you're usually the odd one out or whatever. And for her, it's like, oh, she can block everything. Like, oh, she's pregnant with vampire. Like,
yeah,
I don't know,
like in the power
much.
thing, yeah, sure, I get. Although I just don't understand why. I'm sure they've talked about it because Jasper's powers work on Bella, and like her daughter's powers work on her.
What
Like
was Jasper's power?
Jasper can like control like emotions and stuff. Like he can make you feel
with the birthday.
Yeah. So like I was confused. I was like, wait, why does his work but like not other people's? So I was confused about that, and I'm sure it's explained somewhere, but
Sure.
maybe. But yeah, it's weird because everything does happen to her and everybody's in love with her, but that's the whole like fanfic part of it. Like,
yeah, I hate that the most.
I don't know if that's how most young adult novels are.
Is that a young adult novel?
It? I don't know. I mean, probably. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I feel like watching this, I'm like, dang, I probably grew up more. I definitely grew up more mentally and emotionally. So. This is all bad.
I still think it's kind of fun to watch, though. I hate the child, though. It's the worst
Oh, the CGI. Is it CGI?
Ever. It's like partly a doll and partly CGI. And then when she's, you know, older, when she's like the like 6 or 7 looking whatever, that's like an actual person. But I hate it. It's so creepy. It's terrifying. Mm-hmm. They could have done so much better.
Yeah, definitely.
And I always laugh when she's like, "You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness monster."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oop."
That whole scene, I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's cringy. Oh, so I was texting my sister. I'm like, what? Why is Jacob imprinting on a minor? This ain't right. And she's like, bruh, it's a wolf thing. He can't help it, whatever. And I was like, what? And then, so I was like, I think I imprinted on Seth. And then I'm like, it's whack. And she's like, you're a pervert. And I'm like, isn't that Jacob too? And she's like, no, he's a pedo. And I'm like, how does that make a difference? But yeah, this whole like imprint thing is, I hate it. Like, I get the protector, that's fine. But like he's going to marry her.
No, at the end it like shows them like she has like a vision, Alice or whatever, and shows them together, and I was like, you could have just not done that part and we would have been fine. It just makes me really uncomfortable because as well, it's not even like an age difference thing. I mean, it is, but
doesn't he stay young if he does something or something like that?
I don't know.
I googled it because I was like, this is wrong. So I'm like, let me make sure that werewolves can stay younger, because I think it says something about like not when he transforms, but when he does something, he stays younger until, I don't know. But
he wouldn't be able to like live forever though. So is he gonna end up becoming a vampire? But also, I'm just very uncomfortable because, you know, if you meet someone when you're older and legal and there's an age difference, it's different. But if you've known this person since you were born,
yeah, that's weird.
That's wrong. That's definitely wrong.
The grooming. Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable.
It's pretty gross.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it.
Like, it's bad enough that Edward's like 100 years old, but now we're gonna do this where he's known the child.
It's gross when you've like grown up with the child. When you've seen the child grow, it's like, I don't know.
So it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the most disturbing line. Shall I call you Dad? I was like,
oh
no,
yeah. Honestly, and the whole thing was how at the beginning of the 5th movie when she found out that he had imprinted, and he's like, well, you know, it's not that way because Edward would have killed me. He can read my mind. I'm like, Edward, why aren't you killing him now? Go for it, dude. Rip his throat out. That's your daughter, man. And so it's gonna be like when they are older and it's all, you've kissed my mom and me. Like, just chew with that.
This the vampire werewolf kind of world, okay?
No, it's not.
Fine. Yeah.
I don't want it.
That whole I know I didn't see in the movie, but can they imprint, like, can Jacob imprint if like they had a son? Does it work that way or no?
I don't know. That's true. But it's also written by a Mormon, so
okay, so no. The answer is no. Okay, got it.
That's why they all waited. Well, that's why Bella and Edward probably waited until marriage, and he was old-fashioned. Also, like,
so unrealistic.
Not to be weird, but you know how he got all upset because she had bruises. But like, is it really that great if there's not bruises?
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Like, actually, they're Mormon. Well, they're not Mormon. The author's Mormon.
But still, like, it wasn't like she was hurt. Anyways.
Well, okay, never mind. Okay, we'll get off topic too much. Okay.
How did you feel about the whole, like, fight sequence at the end of the 5th movie?
Oh, man, I was so angry because they killed Seth.
I know. Seth's the only one that,
like, kill Seth, I'll kill you. Yeah. That was the only part I was really angry about. And then it was like not even real, so I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I'm only here for Seth right now. Yeah. I guess it's fine. It's a very, like, again, it's very fanfic in the sense, like, usually in like normal movies, someone has to die. There's different, you know, there's like a level of sadness, but also just relief that everything's over and done, whatever. But this one is just like, no, let's save everybody. So I was like, I was kind of disappointed. I wanted more people to die, but I guess if you like all the characters, then it's fine. It's perfect ending, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, because I always feel like, can't they just come back when everyone's gone home and like attack them again, like the Volturi? Because they seem like they were gonna kill them at some point, but
Yeah, those people confuse me though.
yeah, I guess though, because again, I did not finish the 4th book, so that didn't even happen in the book. It was just like she shows him a vision and you don't know what it is, I guess, and he just goes. So it's very like not as intense. Okay. But I guess when people first watch it in the movie theater, all of the fans are like freaking out because you just see like Carlisle's head get ripped off and stuff, and all these people dying, and people were just like freaking out.
I was kind of freaking out a little bit too. I was like, who are they gonna kill? Oh my gosh. And then I was like, oh, I'm kind of disappointed that they all live now.
I know.
I already accepted that they're dead.
Okay. But I mean, Jasper's alive, so it's okay. And like,
yeah,
I do like Seth, but I don't really care about like the other wolves. But when they're in wolf form and they get hurt, I get really sad. Yeah. I'm like, no. Like they're like crying, and like you just see like the eyes and stuff. I'm like, no.
I got you. Same.
Like, doggy, no.
Same. When they hurt Jacob as a werewolf, I was like, no. And then later I was like, he'll get over it.
Right. I was like, oh, okay.
He's fine.
Yeah.
I wonder if it hurts. Does your bone hurt when you when you broke it as a werewolf and you turn into a human again? Does it shift? I'm confused.
I don't know, because they seem to shift. We don't see them shift out of werewolf form, huh? You only see them like jump and shift into werewolf form.
You didn't have enough CGI.
But it doesn't seem painful for them, because I like, there's a show called Hemlock Grove. First season is great. The second and third season are awful, but it has like one of like the most gnarliest werewolf transformations ever.
Oh, really?
And it's so like, it's painful for him, it looks like, and like bones are breaking, eyes are falling out, basically like it's complete transformation.
I mean, that's kind of how it was in Harry Potter too, right?
Kind of, yeah.
They don't really show it that much, but you could tell it's not like a fun thing. They're just like, wee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn into a dog.
So I like it when it's kind of the more painful one, just because
it makes it more realistic.
Yeah, because I don't think you just change over.
Shifting bones can't be fun.
Right.
Growing fur can't be fun.
Yeah, at least they're not like, I really liked Teen Wolf, but like they just change like where their face kind of gets like hairier, and they got teeth and stuff, so like not their whole body changes, like they're still like human body.
More powerful.
Yeah,
they probably didn't have a good budget in the beginning.
It's a good show, well, because that's how like the
I know, you made me watch the first season.
It's so good.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
See, I do watch, well, maybe I watch a lot of vampire and werewolf stuff.
You do.
I do, because like I grew up with like Interview with the Vampire that had like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. I watched Queen of the Damned. I watched True Blood and like Vampire Diaries. So I do watch a lot.
And I like go out of my way not to watch those kinds of movies. So it's the only one I watched was My Mom's Boyfriend is a Vampire.
No, My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Oh yeah, that one.
It's so good. It's got the dad from Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah,
and the guy from Fran.
And the guy's
eating
like
or whatever.
Garlic spaghetti, and he's like.
I really love that movie though. As soon as Disney Plus came out, that was one of the movies that I watched.
Oh, I watched that one, but probably because Lizzie McGuire's dad. That was the only reason why I watched it.
No, that one's good. And then there's the other one, the like little vampire, whatever, with the Jonathan Lipnicki, the kid from Stuart Little.
I remember that seeing trailers, but I don't think I watched it.
Oh, that was pretty good too. Or what else is there?
There was one where like there was like cow bats. The cows were like hanging upside down or something.
I think that was it.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think that's a little vampire.
Maybe just the commercial did.
Yeah. And then was Cirque du Freak vampires?
I don't know what that
The one with Josh Hutcherson and John C. Reilly?
What?
Yeah. You really? I feel like your sister must have watched it.
I don't think so.
Because it's a book as well. I think it's Cirque du Freak. I think they're vampires.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't watched it in a long time.
I'm gonna have to look this up. My sister and I are big Josh Hutcherson fans.
Has he done anything lately? Oh, he has that show on Hulu, huh?
The bad one?
The Tomorrow Future, whatever
I watched
one.
That one. It was too uncensored.
I only watched it when you were watching it.
Okay, yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's weird. I like his younger movies. Like
RV.
Kicking
and Screaming.
Dog, Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh no.
Yeah. No. Those kinds of movies, you know?
So we hurt.
Yeah. Oh, I had a dream. I have a dream about everything. It's with Twilight too.
Okay.
So I was with Jacob, right? I think I'm supposed to be like kind of like the Bella character in this.
Okay.
So I'm with Jacob and he takes me on this spiritual journey. So we're out of our body, okay? It's an out of body experience.
Okay.
And we're like watching Edward from his window, whatever, and he's looking in the mirror, right? And his reflection's moving differently. And then, so apparently, werewolves can see the true identity of someone looking in the mirror, like the reflection of someone's, no, in the mirror, the reflection of someone looking in the mirror. So Edward's was like this very egotistic, cocky, like, reflection or something like that. And then so he was showing me, he's like, yeah, werewolves can see, we call this the Me Too reflection. I was like, me too. Okay. And then I woke up.
All right. Okay.
So, yeah. Can you explain that dream to me?
No. I can't. Sounds like Jacob's still just jealous.
Yeah, that's what I got to. I'm like, okay.
Did you like hang out with Doctor Strange or something? Astral projecting now?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's like a ritual thing. I don't know.
Okay.
It could happen. So yeah, that was my dream. That was also weird because I was third person, but not third person, because I was in the spirit in my dream. So it's very confusing. But yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I don't have dreams still.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
Rating?
As a whole, because we're doing, I guess, all movies together, I would say like 2.5, maybe a 3. Because they're still like
5.
Fun to watch. I don't think like, you know, like if we were just kind of putting something on and maybe even like not even fully paying attention, it's not something that I'm like, oh, don't ever put it on. It's like, okay, sure. So like 2.5 to 3 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Apples or something. I don't know what to
I
do it
gave
out
it
of.
6 out of 10 vampire bites.
Vampire bites, okay.
Yeah. I didn't know what to do it because
yeah, I was like,
yeah. Yeah.
Who's your favorite
which team am
character?
I in? Oh.
Or you don't have to choose a team.
My favorite character?
Who's your favorite Cullen? Or vampire first.
I don't know his name. Rosalie's
Emmett?
boyfriend. Yeah.
And then
one.
Seth was your favorite wolf, or?
Yeah, he was just like a a child you want to protect with your whole life because he's so precious. Is it Boo Boo Stewart?
Yeah, it's Boo Boo Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want to protect him?
Right.
But yeah, and then out of the 2 teams, I'm Team Jacob for myself. I'm Team Edward for Bella because it would be dumb to pair her with Jacob at this point. Like, obviously she loves Edward. So
yeah.
What about you?
Well, for like Cullen the vampires, it's Jasper,
okay.
and then
I just didn't like his facial expressions.
Oh. The one who's always in pain.
Yeah.
And then that'd probably be Seth as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's so like adorable and
he is
ready to help.
I know. That's why I was so angry when they killed him.
I know.
I didn't know any wolves except him. When I saw him, I'm like, that's Seth. Like, when his sister died, I was like, we win some, we lose.
Oh?
Yeah. But Seth, I was like, okay.
I know. I know, he's so adorable. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I know that fur.
Yeah. There's only one. I don't remember with Jacob. I'm like, okay,
Jacob's
is he with
like
the child?
Goldenish brown, reddish brown.
If he's with the child, that's Jacob.
Hate him.
I mean, his future wife, whatever.
Please, no.
Yeah, disturbing. Okay, on that note.
Let us know what you think about Twilight. Tell us who your favorite characters are. If you have any suggestions for movies we should watch or talk about, let us know.
Yes.
But yeah, please, comment, like, subscribe, all the cool things, I guess.
The cool things.
Yeah, cool things.
All right. Well, please find the nearest exit and get out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.